Welcome to the Halo recap. In 2552, on planet Madrigal, a faction of rebellions live. They oppose the United Nations Space Command or UNSC and their mortal Spartans. General and leader Ha searches for his daughter Quan Ha, who's outside the wars playing in the forest with friends. She stumbles onto a mothership and quickly sprints back as all her companions are killed. She sets off a flare, alerting the village that an invasion is coming. As she sprints to hide with the other children, the aliens blow open the doors and are immune to all bullets. Hell breaks loose as they begin slaughtering all the civilians, but the UNSC arrive, sending in the Silver Team. With it, John, Master Chief, and his subordinates Vanek, Riz, and Kai. They help stop the invasion and annihilate all the alien elites, but slow to act, the alien elites kill General Ha in front of Quan. Just as they shoot the last one, Quan Ha is the only remaining survivor. They go on to search for the mothership, entering it to find an excavation site, with a relic that when John touches, he gets visions of a family, but an elite was watching him. Running out and escaping by ship, they decide to return to UNSC. Master Chief takes in Quan Ha with him, and the others take a separate ship for a faster return. Dr. Catherine Halsey tells John to not touch the relic again. Quan is advised by Miranda Keyes to give a speech about how the Spartans saved her life, and then the other political planets will follow suit and join with the UNSC, but she rebels and they give up on her. She divulges that Master Chief killed her mother as a child during an insurrectionist meeting. Miranda's father, Captain Keyes, informs her that Quan Ha will be subjected to Article 72, or termination of her life. When Master Chief gets this task, he turns off the cameras. When they fly back, John disables the autopilot, but are shot down. Admiral Parangowski orders soldiers and the rest of the Silver Team to put down Quan Ha, but John holds the magical relic and creating a surge that turns off all power to the Citadel, but powers their ship and they fly off. Master Chief takes Quan Ha to the rubble, a collection of asteroids that fugitives from invasions of the Covenant or escapees that hide from the UNSC. They meet up with Soren, an old friend that he allowed to escape the Spartan program, and in showing him the relic, Soren takes him to Reth, a person that escaped the Covenant. He explains that the relic is used to destroy planets in an instant, but they need to find the ring. People who are able to connect with the relic are called blessed ones, and the Covenant has one. He leaves Quan Ha and makes Soren promise to protect her. He returns to planet Reach, believing Kelsey can help him. The UNSC arrest him, taking him to be infected with Cortana, an AI created through flash cloning, who will be used to control John, as it is implanted inside his brain. Cortana is an AI hologram, and with the upgrade, he's put back out onto duty. Meeting back up with the Silver Team, they accept and trust him because they've known him since they were children. He continues on to remove the emotion pellet from his back that would otherwise suppress his emotions for war and everyday life. He can see clearer, and with it, he tries interacting with the relic once again, seeing more flashes of memories and the missing parts of the relic. He searches up his planet, Eridanus 2, and he plans to go back because there is a possibility that his father buried the ring. The Covenant has its own blessed one, and then use her to try and infiltrate the planets and try to retrieve the relic and Master Chief's head. Maki lures the UNSC soldiers to her position with a distress signal before slaughtering all of them with worm-like creatures. Finding barely anything on the ship, she decides to turn back to Madrigal. On the rubble, Quan Ha wants to return to Madrigal and fight for its independence. She convinces Soren by lying about the fact that they are rich, and with this incentive, Soren breaks his promise and takes her onto the ship. Admiral Parangowski allows Miranda to run tests while Halsey is gone. The scientists worry that if Master Chief figures out the truth, they will have to kill him. They arrive on Eridanus 2. Exploring the land, John finds its house, and with the regenerative technology from Cortana, she rebuilds it. He gets more memories from this, and it leads them to a dugout, where they locate the other piece to the relic. At base, Miranda tests the other Spartans to see if they are blessed. They aren't, but she is surprised that they know about Sangheli. With the most amount of time spent with the elites on the battlefield, they are able to somewhat translate some of the words, leading Miranda to find that when John touched the relic, it formed a ring that resembles a halo, connecting John to the relic. They land on Madrigal and search for freedom fighters. Taking it to General Ha's funeral service, Quan talks to a close relative, General Turn, but she is informed of the public executions and fear of the Covenant, so the rebellion disbanded. The conversation is broken up by the soldiers. They call forces to the front line to excavate the artifact, but when they pierce the glass, an echo rings throughout galaxy, reaching Maki, a communication device that she is able to detect where the relic is now. Noticing Kai's new red hair, a sign of rebellion, he knows that she also removed the emotional pellet, so he demotes her to leading the Marines. Meanwhile, they are able to successfully remove the case, and without answers on his origin or the Spartans, he goes to touch the other piece of the relic, empowering him with the knowledge that Halsey lived with him before the plague brushed through the town. town, with his parents too. When she comes to try and assist him, he tries to assault her, but Cortana turns off his neural network on Madrigal. Venture graft and Earth government is taking over, and he doesn't want Quan Ha to interrupt his work, so he hires an assassin. Soren finds out that his ship is destroyed by the works of Venture. They go by Quan's auntie's place to get money and more answers. She speaks the truth of her father's rebellion. Once they ran out of money, her father spoke to the Mystics, and there he used everything at his disposal to try and rebel from the UNSC. They are interrupted by the assassins, who kill the aunt, but they barely make it out. Because of all this trouble, he cuffs her to the bike and goes to search for money. Hours later, when he returns, she is missing. He is ambushed and knocked out. Waking up from the uncomfortable nap, they notice ships invading. The Covenant have located their position and the relic. The Spartans assemble and go to move the relic back to the ships. But midway, Master Chief spots Kai being overloaded with troops, and beyond doubt, he takes the initiative, jumping off and destroying the ship, saving Kai, but the vehicle is flipped and the relic is left in the open. The mothership deploys a Jurohane to knock Master Chief back and steal the relic. Just before it flies off, it shoots down one last pod. As Master Chief approaches, he notices a human life form, a female. The survivors of the battle return to Reach. They contain Maki in a cell. She will only speak with John. She knows about the relics and reveals the link between John and herself and how they connect each other. Tired of the lies, John confronts Halsey, but Captain Keyes and Admiral Parangowski watch from a virtual display. She reveals the truth. They needed test subjects for the Spartan program to save humanity, but parents weren't keen to give their children away, so when they came in contact, they would swap the child for a replica using flash cloning. Once they left, the child would slowly die off, and the parents were unaware and believed it was their biological child. He wants to help humanity, but without her. With Kai's emotional pellet removed, he enlightens her too. Watching this unfold, Admiral Parangowski fires Dr. Halsey as she's divulged all the secrets. She will cease contact with John, Cortana, and will be moved to a different lab. Miranda takes over the research, and he contacts Maki once more. She knows about how every time he touches the relic, it gives him another answer, but he becomes more sick. Maki helps him, and he is set free and connects with her inside the dreamlike state. Halsey, however, is in a different lab, but she still has contact with Cortana and is monitoring John from a distance. Soren commandeers a ship and returns to the rubble, reminded that Quan Ha is still alive because Venture tripled her bounty. He deliberates going back to his sister, thinking of his promise. Quan travels into a dust storm in the middle of the desert, where she is ambushed. She wakes up in the Mystics' camp, but the leader, Desirada, doesn't think she is ready for the truth. With more badgering, Desirada places her under a test. She passes, and her father tells her about a portal, and that she needs to lead Madrigal. She will find more clues at their base, so she heads back home, in which Venture locates her position, but Soren gets there first. They hide in the command center when Venture arrives. They plan to allow the troops to enter and let a hydrogen gas valve leak. When it is time, they will shoot the pipe, and the entire place will go up in flames. The only way to survive is inside the massive steel doors. Quan goes into the underground tunnels to start the gas leak, while Soren distracts, but he is shot. Quan finds Master Chief's gun and uses it to shoot the pipe. They make it into the steel doors just as the explosion obliterates the entire Venture army. Soren takes the remaining money and Venture's ship, leaving to go back to the rubble. Quan sets off to rebuild what her ancestors started. With their shared memories, John now trusts Maki, and they grow closer, beyond friends. He wants to test Maki on the relic. With authorization from Admiral Parangowski, he starts to escort her over. But they didn't know that Halsey is planning on ambushing them. As the creator of the Spartans, she commands Riz, Vanning, and Kai to stop them before the relic and kidnap both of them and steal the relic. Miranda and the scientists work to try and decrypt the Senghili language from the ship of the murdered crewmen. They figure it out to be Maki speaking Senghili, but in on the scheme, Cortana warns John and he sends her away to get help. John and Kai fight Riz and Vanning, but they are in a standstill when Riz struggles to kill John. When Maki asks for the others' help, they struggle to believe that the Spartans turned on each other, and with the arrival of Miranda, they arrest her. But she makes one last break for it and hits the relic, knocking everyone back, including the Spartans. Where in the dreamlike state, she bids John farewell. Outside, the captain ordered troops to arrest Halsey for trespassing. In the aftermath of the explosion, Maki runs off with the relic, stealing a spaceship to fly off. The Spartans argue for what is right or wrong, but Captain Keyes reveals that Halsey has been lying to them. They try to chase down Halsey's ship, and Kai makes it on, just as she takes the escape pod off. Master Chief believes that Maki was telling the truth. She suggested that the Covenants would take the relic to a secret place in the Aspiral star system, and that the stars could be a distraction. He takes the Silver Team on a convoy to try and retrieve the relic. Meanwhile, they capture Halsey from tracking the escape pod, and Miranda delivers the news that she is going to be executed under Article 72, where she starts to get seizures. Miranda recognizes the seizures from the flash cloning undergone by the children, questioning where the real Dr. Halsey is. The Silver team arrive on the sacred planet, secretly landing and taking out soldiers. But the Covenant are alerted, and they stop the ceremony, sending in battalions of soldiers to fight the Silver team. They are slowly widowed down, with the hundreds of advancing soldiers. Marky buys them time by activating the relic, sending John into a dreamlike state, where she wants him to remain until they all die, but she shoots her. Kai kills Marky, taking John out of the state. With all of them injured, John sacrifices himself, so that Cortana can take full control of his body, effectively giving him aimbot. She remote controls the ship, and they escape with the relic, and they leave off, not knowing where the real Dr. Halsey is. This is where the series ends. For another action-filled show, watch this.